Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha Leighanne and I talk about books. Today is another edition of Friday Reads. I did not do a Friday Reads last week because I was posting my February wrap-ups and challenge updates and all that stuff. So for those of you, if this is your first Friday Reads with me, this is where I talk about the books that I have finished in the last week, the books that I'm currently reading, and the books that I plan on picking up next. So just kind of a weekly update, check-in, whatever. So first thing that we're gonna do is talk about the books that I finished. The first book that I finished is The Unseen World by Liz Moore. I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars and I listened to it on audio. The narration was not the best narration that I've ever heard for an audiobook, and I feel like that had a little bit to do with the 3-star rating. Basic synopsis is you have a child prodigy of a computer genius of sorts who kind of raises her alternatively. Her name is Ada. Her father, David, develops Alzheimer's, and we kind of watch as he slowly withdraws from her life and kind of becomes less of the person that she knew. And as this happens, different things about his life begin to come to light. And the last half of the book is really kind of her going through and, trying to discover a little bit more about who her father was. I won't go into too much more detail than that. I'm not going to really talk about the specific things that I liked and that I didn't like. I will say that though I do not have anybody in my life that has ever suffered from Alzheimer's, I feel like this was a really good depiction of what it's like to deal with a close family member who may be dealing with that disease. So it did do that very well, but that's all I'm going to say about it for now. I'll save the rest of my thoughts for my wrap up. And the next books that I finished is actually 5 books. I call them books. Some people would call them graphic novels. I consider graphic novels books, and if you don't, fight me. And that series was the Dark Tower Gunslinger Born. Basically what this is kind of the backstory of the main character Roland from the Dark Tower series. And this was written in conjunction with Stephen King. There is a lot of things that are drawn out of the Dark Tower series, the things that we do know about Roland's background, as well as things that we don't know. So, but this was written by Peter David, Robin Firth, Jay Lee, and Richard Eisenoff. And this I really enjoyed. But the art in this is beautiful. It is very dark, it's very shadowy, and if you know anything about the series, you would understand why that is a thing. Just to give you a glimpse of what the art in this is like, this is one of my favorite illustrations. This is an illustration of the Crimson King, who is he is the villain in these. So, which whenever I initially envisioned the Crimson King, he did not look like this. So that was really interesting to me. Especially, just really being able to see and envision some of the characters from the series. Really enjoyed the series. 5 stars to every volume. Loved it. But the volumes, I'm just going to show you the covers, are The Gunslinger Born, The Long Road Home, Treachery, The Fall of Gilead, or Gilead, or I don't actually know how to say it, so there's that, but the fall of it, and The Battle of Jericho Hill. And the last thing that I finished this week was Trigger Warning, Short Stories and Disturbances by Neil Gaiman. This I also listened to on audio. It was narrated by Gaiman himself. I did enjoy this one. I gave this one 3.5 stars. It's not quite 4 stars. Some of the stories I really enjoyed. Some of the stories not so much. There's not just stories in there, but there's poetry, and it's across all different genres. So there's some science fiction. There's some that are a little bit more horror oriented. There's some that could be almost considered fairy tale, and those were some of my favorite ones, the ones that were more geared towards fairy tales and that kind of thing. So The Sleeper and the Spindle I really loved, and then another one called Orange. I don't know why I loved that one so much, I just thought it was funny. But one of the things that I really like about this book is that at the very beginning there's actually a note from Neil Gaiman talking about each of the stories, why they were included, where they came from, what his inspiration was on a couple of those. So that part of it was really interesting. So not my favorite short story collection that I've ever read, but it was still good. So what am I currently reading? I'm currently reading Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is a post-apocalyptic, almost basically about a superflu that wipes out most of the population. I've been reading this one really slowly. I'm actually doing this as part of a read-along with Krista from Books and Jam. And she has a Goodreads group where we can discuss and all that kind of stuff. So I will be linking that information down in the description for you because it's been fun so far. But I have been reading this one slowly. I'm really enjoying the world building. I'm really enjoying the writing. I kind of picked this one up just because like I saw that Krista had posted about it on Twitter, or I saw it in one of her videos. I can't remember which, but it had been a book that had caught my eye a couple of times, and I'm really glad that I started it because I'm really enjoying it so far. So I anticipate probably finishing that sometime in the middle of next week. The other thing that I am currently listening to is A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I'm not super far into this one yet, but like Station 11, I am liking where it is going. So what am I going to be reading next? I don't really make TBRs, you guys know this. I'm kind of feeling like I'm going to begin one of two books. I'm not sure what audiobook I'm going to be listening to next. I kind of got to see what I have in my library. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is visiting my actual library pretty soon because I need a library card because there's like multiple apps that I can get, you know, audiobooks and stuff from, so I'm not just having to stick to one a month, or I'm not having to buy stuff. So, but anyway, physical books that I'm probably going to pick up next are We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. I know little to nothing about this book, to be completely honest. Yeah, I don't really know anything. I just know that I have seen a lot of people talk about how wonderful it is, and for that reason, I wanted to go ahead and maybe pick it up. And the other one is Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. I don't know how to say that first name. I've never seen that first name in my life. This is another one that I know little to nothing about, but again, I have heard wonderful things about. This one is super, super short, so I can probably finish this one in a couple of sittings. So I might end up picking this one up first. I don't really know. So that's all I have for you guys today for Friday Reads. Have you read any of these books? Definitely comment down below and let me know what you thought of them. If you have a Friday Reads video, make sure that you link that in the comments below so I can make sure to watch that. We can always be friends. All of my social media is linked in the description bar. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.